What's going on, guys? Jake Teasler with Lace Mustang Automotive News. Today, I'm going to provide you with like 5 points on why the Toyota Sequoia is the best SUV that you could possibly get for $5,000. I'm going to go through Craigslist and find a really good deal on one of these first generation Toyota Sequoias. Now, one of the reasons why it's such an awesome SUV is because it's Toyota. It's Toyota. The next thing is it's got the million-mile V8. This is a 4.7 liter dual overhead cam, 235 horsepower for the non-VVT. I think you can look into that if they made a VVT. For the Land Cruiser, they did. I'm not sure about this one. They probably did for this one as well. Point being, this thing will go 1,000,000 miles basically. I've seen a Tundra that's done 1,000,000 miles with this V8. You can get them dirt cheap. They're less than half the price of the Land Cruiser, and we know how good the Land Cruiser is. So you're getting about 70-80% Land Cruiser, but you're only paying for about 30% of it, 40% of it. And I'm going to go through some of these for sale ads and help you pick one out. So some of the things that you're going to have to watch out for are frame rust. So I'm going to just take you through, like, if you're going to go buy an SUV, you need something to go camping with, maybe do some off-roading, like a little light off-roading. I mean, some people are real serious about off-roading with these. So you can get real serious with this if you want to get serious with off-roading. But most people are just going to do some light off-roading, pulling a boat, pulling a vehicle, another vehicle behind them, stuff like that. That's what I think it's great for. And you can go overlanding like this guy. He's ready to ford a river with a snorkel. He can run over some reindeer with that bumper on there and crush some rocks without crushing his car. He's got a rooftop tent. Looks cool in the Instagram photos and everything, right? So, I mean, you can be Instagram famous with the rooftop tent, or you can actually use the vehicle and go off-roading like these guys. Whatever you want to do, the Sequoia is going to do it for you. So let's just look at some of these. I like this brown or whatever that is. But shout out to Toyota's Sequoia Off-Road. I follow them on IG. So I use Search Tempest if you've ever used that. Let's look over in Columbus, Georgia. I went through this earlier, and we're just going to go through and scroll through some of these. So I went through four-wheel drive. Here's the first one right off the bat. Here's an 02, $7,000, 200,000 miles. Now, some of the things wrong with these is the frame will get rusted out. So you got to make sure you get under there and look at the frame, make sure the frame hasn't been rusted out. The headlights get foggy. You can get those replaced on eBay for, $100 or whatever. And the last thing is that there's a few things, but primarily like it's the latch back here. The latch always breaks, and to fix it, you have to go inside, take off this plastic, and take the latch off from the inside and the outside. It's not that bad. I could do it again in probably half an hour or an hour, but you have to get inside the truck to change that out. That's really it. I mean, if you get one, this is a limited. The limiteds are gonna have leather. It's a little bit nicer on the inside. This truck looks nice. 200,000 miles is nothing on these as long as the oil's been changed. The other good thing is these motors are not harsh on oil. So, if you go over 5,000, that's really not that big of a deal because the oil will still look clean usually if you've been driving on the highway. So this is a pretty clean example for $7,000. That's a nice truck. No rust, no warning lights. Great beach vehicle. Yeah, man. Great. You can throw the surfboard in there, everything. So let's look at some other ones. I'm looking for that $5,000 beater that you can park in the parking lot and you're not worried if someone scratches it, right? You're not worried if someone just comes up and runs their shopping cart down the side of it. Because if you get one that's too nice, it's nerve-wracking. And we're not looking for a Toyota Sequoia that's too nice. We're looking for a beater that we can take off-road and or not even take off-road. Just, I don't want to spend Land Cruiser money on a Sequoia. That defeats the purpose. You want a cheap vehicle, cheap price, meaning price, high value, low price, that you don't have to worry about. This is another limited 07. So that was one of the last years of these. It has a little different, styling. It is a limited. The paint looks good. I mean, for $9,000, come on. Got the DVD in here. Now this is, it doesn't have any no oil leaks. 250,000 miles. I mean, it looks dry. Rust, not really any rust. I mean, I just think this is such a value because this thing will go another 200,000 miles. No, it's not a BMW. It's not going to leave you stranded on the side of the road. It's not as flashy as a BMW either, though, right? So here's another one. Now these are all a little bit too nice. These are closer to $10,000. I mean, here's one with 327,000 miles on it. These are all closer to like $10,000. So these are not really the vehicles that I'm interested in buying, but these are clean nonetheless. This is a 06 for one owner. I mean, this is a beautiful truck. I wouldn't really want to be taking this thing off road. But if you were going to buy a nice cruiser, that looks nice. But in my opinion, this is a nice car. This is a very nice car. But if you're wanting to tow a boat and you're wanting to go to the beach and you're wanting to do some off-roading, and at this point you're going to want to maintain the current state of this vehicle, which is going to drive you crazy. There's no dents. The paint's perfect. If I took this car, I would have to be parking out in the middle of the parking lot, and that just I want to pull up, squeeze in between two Priuses, and let some lady just open the door on the car, and I'm not real worried about it. And that black, that fancy one that was pristine condition would drive me crazy. Now, this one doesn't grab my attention, but I'm just letting you know what's out there so you guys know. 5,900, 197,000 miles, something with the dash right there. I'm not digging what the dash looks, but this is probably a decent vehicle. These are all gonna, go another 10 years for you. These are all just so nice down here in Florida, so we need something less nice. Let's look at what does it say? Mississippi, Illinois. So yeah. So if you're wanting to do any of this type of stuff, I wouldn't recommend getting a really, really nice one unless you have, nerves of steel. Like this guy took a really nice one and he changed the bumper, and it looks really good. It does, and he's at the beach, and that's cool. But you're going to be spending $10,000 on a truck. We're looking for like a $5,000 or a $4,000 truck that feels like it's not stressful to go off-roading and do stuff like this, right? That's the purpose of it. You can go do all this without, and these are actually really nice Sequoias. Well, I mean, that's why they're on Instagram and they're getting likes, right? Because they're really nice. But I just wanted to display it. Now let's try to find something that's not too crazy priced, that looks really good. I'm looking for the $5,000 deal. That's what I'm looking for. Here's a limited, not bad. This is a 4-wheel drive limited. Hands down, the most reliable vehicle I've ever owned. Quiet except for LED fog. What is that? Quiet, not picture. Unmodified, no rattles or leaks anywhere. Yeah, I mean, this is kind of how they are. It's got 300,000 miles, and he's just like, man, this is like the best. So as long as the timing belt needs to be changed every 80,000 miles, new hoses and belts and pulleys and everything, right? $6,000. And it really is a good deal, man. These are just great trucks for the money. If you guys need help finding one, message me on Instagram, Jake Teasler Fitness, or Jake Teasler is my other one. You got leather on this limited. This is a 03, a little bit newer. Something like the antenna might not work. The other thing to check is the sunroof. The sunroof does not work on mine. It got rusted out from the drain holes will get clogged, and then that will cause rust. This one is a little bit lower mileage. They're asking a little bit more money. Sometimes what people will do is take these and try to flip them by like putting a wheel and tire package on them, like this guy did, and then putting like a roof rack or that thing like that on top. And what they'll do is put a sticker on the side, and then they'll try to charge a lot more for it, right? Try to increase the the value of it by fixing it up a little bit, and they'll try to flip it, make an extra $1,000 off of this one. So like maybe he got the wheels and tires for between $1,000 and $1,500, and that rooftop thing for like $500. So he put $2,000, and maybe he paid $600 for it. Yeah, and then he's gonna try to get another $1,500 out of it profit just from adding those little add-ons. So what we want to do is we want to find one for the original, like this. Now this is gonna be rusted probably, but it does say it has good paint, only 150,000 miles. It's black, comes with a little Chihuahua. I don't like those wheels, but we're getting there. $5,000, right? Okay, here we go. $6,000. Did we already look at this one? 233,000 miles, limited. Looks like it's been sitting around, hadn't been used that much. Not too much rust down in there. Front bumper's a little sketchy on the other side. Looks like it's been sitting at a lot somewhere, like an impound or something almost. I'm not interested in that one so much. Here's an 06. Sometimes, like, this is the very first picture. This one's not going to sell well because he didn't put the picture of the car as the first picture. So sometimes you can get in there and get a good deal with one of these guys. You can wheel and deal with these people that are not really good at listing their vehicle. Yeah, it's one owner. Right. This is probably someone you'd want to buy from. It's a newer one. It's a 06. They don't know what they're doing. They listed the seats, for the main picture. It's probably an older couple, and they've had it for 20 years or 15 years. They've covered up the seats, and the paint still looks good. I'm not for red, but this looks good because it's a 06. It is a limited. It's got that leather and the painted thing with the fog lights. The covers. This looks like a good truck, man. This is it. 300,000 miles. Like I said, as long as all completed by Toyota. So this is a one owner, been going to the Toyota dealership since day one. Okay, original owner, day one, Toyota dealership. Paint is good, body's good, no rust probably underneath. And this is the one you want to get. They still got the window sticker. The miles are high, but if this is highway miles and it doesn't have any rust, and this thing's been listed for 2 weeks, 17 days, if this truck's not sold in another like 10 days and it was on a used car lot, you could get a big discount on this, right? So you can always use that as a trick for negotiation on those used car lots. If they've had it for 30 days, they really need to get that car out of there. So what you can do is usually offer 10%, 20% lower and then start working on them that way. But this is for $6,500. This right here would be a great purchase. 06 limited, 4-wheel drive, one owner. Just go underneath, make sure the frame's not rusted, check the oil. When you start up, make sure the engine's not blowing smoke, like the rings are bad or something like that. And go home, clean up the tires, get all this stuff off, clean the wheels, detail the crap out of it, buff it. And this would be a $10,000 truck pretty fast. I might go get this one if you guys don't. Bedford, Indiana? Am I guessing right? Yep. I'm down here. If I post this tonight and this is still here in a few days, I might go have to see about this one. I might have to write them an email because I'm liking this. Let's dig in here. Like it doesn't even have any scrapes on the bumper. So this is the kind of find that I'm talking about. This is what you want. Now, it's missing a little visor there. I'm assuming that's just the factory paint. It just needs to be polished out. It's got a little scuff right there maybe. Tires don't look new. So you could negotiate them down on that. So I think you could get this truck for $5,000. Just make sure it hadn't been wrecked or anything. And I think this is a great truck. So they came with a 5-speed. The newer ones came with a 5-speed. Now this is a VVTi engine. So these are the 270 horsepower engines, I believe. This is just like the Land Cruiser where they had the VVTi and the non-VVTi. So I'm excited about this, guys. I like this one. This is the one. This is the one to get. Go inspect it. Make sure it's all, up to par. But man, so I just wanted to show you guys that you can get an overlanding vehicle for like $5,000 that will last you. If this has got 300, it'll go to 500 as long as you change the oil, and it will last you, and it'll do everything a Land Cruiser can do, more or less. 80% of what a Land Cruiser can do for way more. If this was a 06 Land Cruiser, this would be going for 25, 20, something like that, something crazy. So I like finding deals. If you like deals and you like these kind of videos, or you found any kind of value in this video, hit the subscribe, hit the thumbs up. If you're looking for a vehicle, I can help you find one. Just hit me up on Instagram. My handle is Jake Teasler Fitness, I think, for this one. And I've got another one. It's just Jake Teasler. It's for my car stuff. So, yeah, guys, I hope you liked the video. And let me know down in the comment section what you think. Let's try to find a four-wheel drive here. Let's see if we can find another one. Oh, here's a 01 Limited. I really do. Look at that dual exhaust. It probably sounds pretty good. Yeah, nothing special. It's not as cool or unique as that red Limited. I really like that Limited. Here's another one. Black. I love black. It's a little shiny. It might be aftermarket paint, maybe not. Maybe just well taken care of. Looks like it's pretty well taken care of. And yeah, the back windows do roll down. I forgot to tell you about that. 8,700 is what he's asking. That's a really clean 06. It's a really clean 06. I really like that. It's a little bit more than the other 06, but it looks a little bit nicer. But like I said, I was trying to keep it down in the price range, a little bit lower. Maybe we'll find one over here in Oklahoma. Arkansas. Let's see, we have what drive? It's going to be four-wheel drive. I'm just trying to find, because a lot of guys are priced out of these Land Cruisers right now. 147,000 miles, limited. It's nice. If you're wanting just a really good condition one, you can pay $15,000 for this one. But I would rather not. I would rather get one for a third of the price. And because here's the deal. This is how I felt with the Land Cruiser 2. If it's going to go to 500,000 miles, should I value the fact that it has low miles? Because low miles, why do you want a vehicle with low miles? It has more value. Why does it have more value? Because it's less likely to break down, right? Well, if it's going to go to 500,000 miles anyways, who cares if it has 200,000 or 300,000? What's the difference? It's going to go to 500. It's still at 50% of lifespan or 40% of lifespan. If it's at 147, it's going to go to 500, then 147, 247 doesn't really make a difference to me. Do you get my point there? Now, if you're a collector or you're trying to get, the lowest mileage one, yeah, that's a different thing. But I'm saying from a standpoint of I'm looking for a $5,000 truck that will get the job done. I don't value the mileage as much. What I'm saying is I don't see the purpose. I don't see the value in it paying double or 3 times or 4 times the price for lower miles, because the lower miles cost 2 or 3 or 4,000, 2 or 3 or 4x, 2, 3 or 4 times the amount of the original one. So these are still a little bit too high price for me. I'm looking for that one for about $5,000. So let's go down to Arizona, New Mexico. So we're searching all over the nation. And we're going to find one of these dudes. We're going to find the one. I think we might have already found the one over there in Indiana. And this one looks all right. This has really low mileage. New tires, it says. It's almost the same price, though, as the other one. The red one that we liked. So, I would rather pay $300 or $400 more for that limited. That's a few years newer. Although it does have a lot more miles. Now, here's one for super cheap. Hard to say what's wrong with this one. It's got paint missing on the hood. May or may not be a big deal to you. 4-wheel drive. I don't know if those are lights on because it's been started or not. About 300,000 miles, 01. This will get the job done. $3,500 probably you can get this, right? 4,200 OBO. Water pump and timing belt were changed at 200,000 miles, so it's going to need the water pump and timing belt chain. It's not one I would get if you're going to pay, because I think you can find one for 35 or 4. This is a $3,500 truck. This is not a $6,000 truck. I do like his photo though. It's a nice So the problem is this truck's been it's probably had a rear end collision, so they repainted the back half and then the front half, or vice versa. But for some reason the front's faded and the back has not. Yeah, it probably had a collision back here, and then they resprayed this, and then the factory paint faded. It's pretty clean, aside from the paint being faded. It's actually really clean, aside from the paint being faded. It's priced way too high. Yeah, it's a rebuilt title. It's priced way too high. But if this was listed at 35, that's still too ugly. It's still too ugly. It's too much. It's too much to deal with. You don't want to get one that's too ugly. You don't want to get one that's too ugly. Well, let's see if we got anything in Colorado or Utah. I'm really still liking that red one. What do you guys think? I guess I should have made this a live video. Those are a little bit too nice. They're very nice, though. Look at this one. Sequoia Limited. 07, last year. Self-leveling. I didn't realize that these had self-leveling, the newer ones. I guess it's got airbags in the back. Very cool. Toyota did that with the GXs. The Lexus GX would have a self-leveling in the back. And then the Land Cruiser 06, 07 had an optional hydraulic suspension where you could raise and lower it. And the Sequoia, I guess, does have the self-leveling like the GX. And then the Lexus LX from this same generation basically had the same engine, but they had the hydraulic suspension, which means, it will raise and lower. So here's a clean, well-used, black, limited. Yeah, I like something like this. I don't know why. It's not too nice. It's not too perfect. It's still got the chrome wheels on it, the limited kind of shiny wheels, and the pinstriping from the factory, and the gold badges. It hasn't been messed with too bad, and it's still stockish looking, and it's just well used. For some reason I don't like that, missing some body molding, but it's pretty clean on the inside. They put some seat covers on there. Is this a limited? This is a limited. It's a little funky, but overall, it's okay. I like the way that the headlights at least aren't fogged out and the paint's decent. So that's another option. And last one, we're going to go to California real quick just to make sure we're not missing out on anything over there, because there's usually a lot of cars over there. So you got $5,000 in your pocket. We're trying to find the best Sequoia for the money. Let's just say that's the situation. You know, and you can spend a little bit more, but we're looking for that price point where you're getting 90% of the expensive ones for like half the price, right? Like this guy turned it into an overlanding project. And you can do that with these big dudes, and I like them. You know, he probably wants so much. You know, these guys, 14.8. All right, let's go to California and see what they got over there. Make sure we're not missing any more. 8.4, that's kind of a deal. Have to look at it a little bit more. I'm ready to go to California and see what's going on here. All right, here we go. Skipped Utah. There's probably some deals there too. There's the beauty. All right. So we got Los Angeles, everything in here. 4-wheel drive. Let's go. So we got one right off the bat, $5,000, 200,000 miles, clean title. What's wrong with it? Paint good. Paint's all right. Paint's about a 6 or 7 out of 10. Interior 6 or 7. Yeah, I mean it looks like that's typical for Southern California, just dusty. As long as there's no, I just checked the frame, make sure there's no frame rust. These rusted out. I already told you that. So, I mean, if he's asking 5, you could probably get that for 4. Would you rather pay a couple extra for the red one? It's a 02, so it's kind of the first generation. It has a 4-speed automatic instead of 5-speed, and it does not have that VVTi engine with more horsepower. So here's a clean one. The headlights are old, but the paint is not. So I definitely like this. Wait, there's no sunroof? There's no sunroof. I've never seen that. I just never paid attention. This is not a limited, so it's cloth seats. This is probably a one owner. If I was to guess, 200,000 miles, original paint, no accident, Carfax, no oil leak. Yeah, it's nice. It's a good, clean, but we want that 06, 07, 5-speed with the VVTi, more horsepower, extra gear. You know, what year is this? It says it's a 08. I don't believe this. It looks like a fake ad. Here's a 01 with those crusty tires. 194,000 miles. I'm just not feeling that one for whatever reason. Here's one for $6,000. Looks like it's been repainted in the front though. It's been wrecked and repainted. I can just tell that paint job is not factory. You can tell because the grill's the same color and they just painted everything. It's been hit in the front. This is pushed in and the gaps are all big around the headlight. That's how you can tell. And this is painted. So, you know, you gotta watch out for stuff like that. You can go ahead and look at it, but 240,000 miles. You know, they're asking 6, you know. I mean, if you could get it for 4 and you don't mind all that stuff, maybe. But, you know, for the same price, you could probably just get a stock one like this. Never mind. Photos aren't very good. Miramar Motorsports does a lot of these. They'll go across the U.S., I guess, is where they get them at. And they put method wheels and off-road tires and like a lift kit and charge you an extra $5,000 or whatever. I do like them for sure. But They do have a lot of clean builds. So yes, I am hating, but they do have a lot of clean builds. And the trucks are usually clean that they sell. And they probably do good work. Yeah, they got tons and tons of inventory. So if you're in SoCal and you do want to pay a premium, you can get a clean one that's already set up for you over there at Miramar. And if they want to invite me down, I'll come down there and review some cars. If you guys want me to help you find a car, just hit me up. I'll check out whatever you're looking at. Just send me some photos of what you're looking at, and I'll look at it. So this one has 105,000 miles on it. I think I'm running out of juice. Here's a one owner, 01. I'm still just stuck on that. Oh, here's a 07. What's going on with this? I don't believe this ad. I don't believe these ads. So, all right, guys. I think we're just gonna stick with this. I think we're gonna stick with this one. Just put some polish on a buffer and get some tires, and potentially this one will be ready to roll. 5-speed automatic. You got your stuff here on your steering wheel. I would have to go inspect it, but I think this is the one, man. This is the one. Roof rack with rails, keyless entry, fog lights, daytime running lights, moon roof. It's got some options. So, thanks for watching, guys. I just wanted to add some value by talking about the Toyota Sequoia and just showing you guys what you can get for such a cheap price. If you're really stuck on a Land Cruiser and you don't want to pay that premium right now, you can go out and get your Sequoia, a clean one, for a decent price, and drive it for a couple years, and then sell it for probably the same price you paid for it, and not have to put a lot of money into the maintenance, and then go get your Land Cruiser after you've saved up a little bit more, or maybe the market will change. I'm not sure what's going to happen, but hopefully that showed you some pros and cons of the Sequoia and the different year models. And I just like to talk about cars, so keep it going in the comment section, and hit the subscribe button and thumbs up if you added any value to you. All right, thanks for watching. Catch you in the next video.